Welcome back, everybody, to the Bourbon and Boost Garage. We're here with now an 8-second Monte Carlo. We're going to see what went wrong at sick week. So we know something went wrong. We're not 100% sure what went wrong. We're going to maybe do a compression test and try to figure it out, and then we're going to talk about some other stuff. So guys, if you pay attention to the channel, you kind of know that we heard it. The little 5.3 that could, Thomas, is officially damaged. We're not sure the extent of it yet. And we kind of knew what direction we're going to go after this. And it's kind of sitting on the table back there. But unfortunately, I might have to throw in the towel for a while, guys. The amount of money I'm spending is just a lot. And we need to get this car to the next level where it needs to be safely and reliably. After seeing that bad wreck with the rod coming through the side, I know it can happen to anybody, even with aftermarket rods, but I feel like maybe we need to try to be a little safer than what we were doing. Granted, we do have an engine diaper, so it would have more than likely saved it, but the horsepower rating we're at, we should have aftermarket rods. And I have that, but it takes other things to go with it. And I'll explain that. We'll walk back there and I'll kind of show you where we're at and what I'm talking about. So guys, if you keep up with the channel at all, some people already knew that I had a built motor sitting in the back of the garage. Wiseco pistons, Eagle rods, nothing too fancy, but should be rated for well more horsepower than what we've been running. But the problem is I built this 3 years ago, if not more, before I knew everything I do about the LS builds. We also never planned on putting the amount of boost to this engine that we did in the engine, the 5.3 that's in it. So we have to go ahead and prepare for that now also. And you know, with that, it takes a lot of time and a lot of money. So as of right now, we're trying to look for the next steps for the race car, not kind of staying where we're at. So for the next steps, we got some things we need to change. This motor had a BTR Stage 3 cam in it that's brand new. We're looking more into doing a custom cut cam. This is a 30/6 liter, so a little bit more cubic inch, a lot more torque. While we do that, we also need to go ahead and pull the trans, freshen it, put an aftermarket intermediate drum in it because it's got a factory drum in it, and go ahead and put a bell housing on it to be safe for my legs. And it's just a lot. When you add it all up, you know, it adds up. And so unfortunately, I might have to kind of shut down for a while and just kind of sit back and help other people, which is fine. You know, sometimes you got to do that. But unfortunately, it's going to put us on kind of a halt for a little bit until I can kind of build the funds back up, or at least get the parts here and then start building it. The first step is going to be getting my short block back together though, because I took it apart because the the bearings I put in this years ago were just stock, which you can see, stock Cleveite 77 bearings. And I'd like to go ahead and put some King bearings in it like we had in the 5.3. We need to go ahead and open up the ring gaps and some other stuff, but we'll get back and see what happened to the poor little 5.3 that's already in the car. So guys, while I do this, I already disconnected all my injectors so they're not shooting fuel in. I also went ahead and disconnected my coil packs so it's not trying to fire. Trying to prevent anything bad from happening, because I've had a fire on this car and that was sketchy enough. But we'll go through every cylinder, we'll write it down, we'll see what kind of compression we're at. We're thinking a broken ring land because for some reason I'm thinking we only set this motor to like 24 on the ring gaps, and with the calculations that me and Steve just got from him calculating it real quick, we should have been closer to 30 on the ring gap. So we're assuming that it broke a ring land, but we'll get in here, we'll check it all, and we'll see what happens. So guys, we have no idea. We can speculate, but until the motor comes out and we pull it and break it all the way down, we're not gonna know. I'll take you over here and show you the results of the compression test. Let's see here. I got this thing on a tripod, so it's fighting me a little bit, but not bad. Maybe not perfect. That one's 5 is a hair low, but it's still close enough that I don't think it's what we initially thought. Truthfully, I thought a ringland. It could still be a ringland, but I'm leaning more towards a head issue. Maybe we're lifting the head under 35 pounds. I'm starting to kind of lean towards that. And the reason I say that is I've noticed my coolant is kind of missing again, but it's also not in the oil. So maybe it's going in the combustion chamber or something, but I'm not seeing anything on the spark plugs. Everything looks perfect. We got a nice, pretty burn here. So I don't know. We got the other motor. We'll take some time. I'll save up and I'll start buying parts, and it'll take me a little bit, but we'll get back eventually. But we'll yank the motor and we'll figure out from there exactly what happened. If it is a head issue, I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to solve that before we put the big motor in. Because if it's lifting a head on 35 pounds with this one, it's essentially the same block. It's gonna lift the head on that one, which might come back to bigger head studs. I'm not sure. I'll get with Steve and Joe and we'll kind of go through it together and figure out what they think we should do before we build this motor. Maybe we need to fire ring the block. I don't know. I didn't really want to get that far into it, but the boost levels we're at, I think we're running out of options. Bigger head studs might be the next step, though, but we'll see. But guys, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment what you think might have broke, and when we find out what broke, what happened, we'll see who the winner is. But I can speculate as of right now. So I appreciate everybody. Till next time, we'll see y'all later.